Today, my friends, we will be embarking on another adventure. The adventure of Bog Creatures. So right off the bat, there are a bunch of exposed women running around the place. I can't show the clip here because, you know, obvious reasons. Yo, I gotta be honest, these sound effects are killing me. We get an idea of what happened in the past. Dear God, can you say low budget? Pretty sure this ritual that we're seeing here is gonna come in handy or has some kind of significant meaning for later on in the movie. Trust me guys, there really isn't much to this movie at all. The intro takes a hell of a long time and then we're introduced to this guy, a scientist, and his sister. Honestly, I was wondering out throughout the entire movie if he was just saying she was his sister because they have a very odd relationship or they're very close. He decides to recruit these students because people just think he's crazy, so he needs someone to do his dirty work for him.
As well as the low temperature have retarded decay.
Honestly, the acting is so bad in this movie, it makes me drip with sweat. It looks like a group of people got together to make a high school video project and they failed at it. The only thing that makes it at least a bit entertaining is the fact that it sucks so bad. The acting is really horrible, the story is not even that interesting, we're supposed to be living for the action, and there's not really that much of that. Anyways, this guy and his sister with their weird kinky relationship get these students together because they also want to be redeemed, and having their names in some kind of history book or winning some Nobel Prize, whatever their aspirations are, they want to be famous. This guy just wants to study them, but he's not allowed to go anywhere near the area because of past offenses. They get to a castle that is near the area they're supposed to be researching, where this guy with a Scottish accent, who is said to be one of the workers for the professor guy, decides to look over the kids. Or young adults, I guess. As everyone settles down, we get kind of a weird atmosphere. Now, this guy comes in and, my dude, why would you be sniffing her clap cup with the door open, knowing that she could walk in at any moment? He is so enamored with the smell of her fish market that he doesn't even realize she comes in. And in a state of panic, he decides to gobble down her kitty stopper.
What do you got there? What are you doing in my room?
Okay, but for real though, how does one swallow a piece? You know what? Whatever. Because there's a thing called pica that exists. Apparently people eat all sorts of things that you never thought possible. There's some freaking real life Yoshis and Kirbys walking amongst us right now. So I guess it's not that far-fetched. Gross. All I'm thinking is that all the kitty sopping juice, that comes along with the backdoor coffee. It's not like it's a clean pair of underwear. But whatever. I'm also the kind of person that doesn't like to take bubble baths because I don't like sitting around in my own bath water with all my dead skin flying around and me floating in it. That to me is not clean. Does it make any sense taking a bubble bath when you just have to shower yourself right afterwards? Feels gross, too icky, too small of an area of water for it to dissipate, so you're literally sitting in your own skin mud. But I digress.
Thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome.
Later, the group goes down to try and excavate the bodies. At first, they're all despondent because they think there's nothing there and the professor really is a crazy old duke. But then they hit metal and discover that there are, in fact, Viking bodies buried under the ground. Everyone's excited and they let the professor know right away. Meanwhile, Sesame Street and friends are constantly in the shadows just watching them, which to me makes no sense because later on you'll see why. As they're on their way there and they're trying to find more bodies that the professor claims is there, one of the girls trips over something and realizes there's a body in the mud right there. The first thing she thinks is that one of the other students is trying to do his own excavating and leave them out of it, which I don't even understand. That makes no sense. But then they come upon a camp. It looks really spooky because cars are overturned, a whole bunch of belongings that belong to different strangers that are no longer there are just strewn all over the place. Like the camp has been ransacked and attacked. This girl that they found named Tara is clearly scared and alone and so helpless, and Diana is such a great big sister. She immediately takes this girl in and lets her know that she can be trusted, and it's so sweet. One thing is for sure, Tara saw something, probably what was responsible for attacking her camp crew. After they they taking Tara, they realize that Susie is missing, the girl in the blue military color shirt. She's nowhere to be found, and the guy searches everywhere for her along with his friends. But they have a clue. They found her camera back at the campsite where they found Tara. It's possible that whoever attacked the people at that campsite also took Susie there and did, well, clearly something awful since she's no longer with them. The strange thing is there is no sign of their bodies. Not the camp members, not Susie, no one. Everyone just vanished. Tara's lucky she was alive.
What? Whoa, she spoke.
Diane tries to take care of Tara to get her to speak. Now that Tara's finally speaking, she lets them know that they're all in danger and that they're all going to be killed by whatever it is killed her camp crew. We still have no idea what that is. Diane is like the only smart one of the group because at least she's looking around to make sure that she's not being followed.
Jesus, Nick, you scared the crap out of me.
Sorry.
If you're so sorry, why are you laughing, Nick? Since Tara said she felt dirty, Diane decides to give her a bath. She's just really trying to take care of her, and Panty Eater over here decides that he's gonna spy on them. Now this guy seriously needs to get out more. I guess later on when he runs into these things, the Bog people, the dead bodies they found that are reanimated, everyone's supposed to feel delighted that something bad's gonna happen to him. But honestly, I just feel really bad for him. He's thinking about how famous he's gonna be, and honestly, if I saw dead people who were alive, and I know they're supposed to be dead from like 800 AD, I would be kind of concerned. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, you guys, this is awesome. They start backing up, and he tries to convince them that he's not gonna hurt him. But let me tell you, this is natural selection at its finest.
I won't hurt you. I come in peace.
Hearing the commotion, the rest of the group comes out and sees their friend being choked to death by what is supposed to be a corpse that they just dug up earlier. They made a remark that if these corpses are walking around now for some reason and have just animated, that must mean that the body that they sent back with the professor is going to be animated as well. And surely enough, when the professor calls in one of his favors, the guy performing an autopsy on this old, decrepit corpse has his neck kind of sliced open or has a marker drawn on it, because honestly, people who get their necks sliced in this movie, they just look like someone just smeared some hot sauce on their neck. They didn't even try with the makeup. That's why they try to hide it all the time. It's so infuriating. So remember earlier I was saying those Bog people were watching them and we saw that little picture or that little clip of them watching in the shadows? If they only animated later on in the movie because the stars aligned, what were those things walking around earlier? Nothing should have been animated at that time. But whatever, it's this movie. The brother and the sister managed to get away in time by using sulfur dioxide, but this guy has to put on a speech before he does it.
Bravo to you, sis, for holding on to it. In Denmark, of all places.
You know the interesting thing about the Bog people, sis? Their flesh is highly acidic from the peat. That's why they don't decompose.
Lawrence, get out of here!
I remember way back in high school chemistry class, I accidentally mixed a large
You need to shut the up!
quantity of hydrochloric acid and sulfur dioxide. Quite a reaction I got. I'm lucky to still have my eyesight.
My question is, that stuff is highly acidic and it can burn right through your skin. You're not supposed to use it without gloves, so how is it that he's thrashing it around, it's splashing up everywhere, but yet he doesn't get burned by it one bit? Really? No splatter on his skin? Nothing?
Brains over brawn, huh?
Bog girl's still in the lab.
Right.
The other corpse that scared the hell out of the girl turns out to be a good guy, and she tries to fight the curse. In so doing, she tells them what happened in the past and what they have to watch out for and how to stop them. The guy doesn't want to kill her because of course he's seeing dollar signs. He really doesn't care anything about this old Norse woman. But she decides to take their weapon and pour it all over herself to destroy herself in an attempt to save them and to help them stop the others.
How do I know? I know because I'm a scientist and it's my job to know. Now please, Valborg Castle. What do you mean it's out of your jurisdiction? No, I do not want the number of the local constable. I want you to come out there with...
You know you only need to speak in complete sentences when you're writing answers on a test at school. I know they try to do this for the benefit of the audience, but it's so freaking cheesy. Ugh, it's freaking cringe.
He hung up on me.
Then we're on our own.
We're gonna be all right, sis.
I love you, big brother.
So much.
Okay, they're seriously making me freaking uncomfortable. Was there a side story that we were missing out in this film? Now that we know that Tara's the descendant of the priestess and her whole purpose is to have waited 1200 years so that she can reanimate her cult or her ancestors, she has to be stopped. They find some tomb, they use the swords of some other Viking guy that stopped the cult before, and then they use the swords to kill the zombies. This movie is so freaking stupid. Oh my god. In the end, they stop Tara, but guess what? Now it turns out that the little sister of that guy, he died from his wounds, by the way. Yeah, he was injured by one of the zombies, the one with the knife or the sword. And she decides to use the ritual on her brother to bring him back. And that's the whole movie. That's it. Yep. This movie felt like a freaking waste of time. It was so boring. I fell asleep like 3 times near the end.
Cool dentil huda, dirt out of leave out of dirt.
Toxin?
I like how they use implications of certain things because they don't have the budget to make it look a certain way. It was just so poorly done, dude. Everyone in these little costumes, you could see the human faces through the masks. Most of the time you can tell that people are wearing the mask. You don't even try to do makeup underneath to make the eyes blend in with the costume. Dude, come on. This is such a throwaway movie. I don't know if they did this for a school project, but my teacher, if I'd handed this to him, he would have failed me. First of all, there were times when the lighting was so freaking harsh on the actors or when you couldn't see them whatsoever. He would have failed me. The audio sucks. If I'm being a film critique or a teacher, it's really bad. I'm so sorry I watched it. Like, I'm honestly sorry I watched it. I actually went to watch another movie called Claw, but for the life of me, I could not find it. I kept finding 2 other movies, and that's not the movie that one of you recommended to me. I'll have to search for that later, but Jesus Christ, this movie made me want to dig out my undergarments. Wait, what? That's not what I was actually going to say. I don't know why I said that. That's not the word I was going for. What's the belly button? There you go. Anyways, go watch the rest of it for yourself. It really is not that interesting. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I feel like I wasted my goddamn time. At least with Velocipaster, that was entertaining. It was stupid, but it was entertaining. It made me angry. It made me feel something. This made me feel nothing. It didn't make me angry. It didn't make me sad. It just made me bored. And I feel like this is something that would just be going on in the background as I'm falling asleep because I'm heavily intoxicated. That's what this movie is. It's not even worth talking about. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.